Come on. I like that, y'all. The H, the E, the
Are you a L.I.V.E teacher? L.I.V.E teachers not only think outside of the box, they break the box.
I like that, like that. The H, the E, the H.
Are you a L.I.V.E teacher? A L.I.V.E teacher is someone who never stops learning.
We know that highly efficacious, efficient, and effective educators expect their students to succeed.
Yes, y'all. Watch out!
L.I.V.E, Highly Efficacious, Effective, and Efficient Educators, is a series of 22 live lessons that focus on different areas of teacher efficacy, advocacy, and support.
L.I.V.E teacher brings fun into the classroom.
L.I.V.E teachers bring excitement to the classroom.
They welcome change into their classroom. They are masters of the subject and the content that they teach. And most importantly, they never stop learning. So again, I ask, are you a L.I.V.E teacher?
We're excited that you can join us, and stay tuned for our upcoming L.I.V.E lessons, and we look forward to learning and growing with you. Thank you.
Yeah, come on. I like that, y'all. The H, the E, the H, the E, the H, the E, the H, the E. I like that, like that. The H, the E, H, E, H, E. Heck yeah. Yes, y'all. Watch out. H-E,
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday to everybody. My name is Simone from the great state of North Carolina. Y'all already know it. I live in Maryland, and we're excited today. We're bringing you greetings from all of us today. Welcome to the L.I.V.E Summer Learning Series, where our goal is to inform, empower, and encourage educators, families, and all those that hold a stake in education. Whether it's your first time joining us, if you've attended other sessions, we thank you for your presence and participation as we grow tonight. We already see people typing in where they're from. We have Atlanta, Houston, Alabama. So thank you so much for tuning in. All of you from North Carolina, tune in tonight because our home state is here. So tag you it, Miss Lavetta.
Hey everybody, hi, I'm Lavetta Levels and I'm from the great state of Texas, Dallas, Texas to be specific. So hey everybody, Houston, I see you, Houston, everybody in Texas and Dallas, DeSoto, all my people. Hey everybody, tag Isis, you're it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Isis Stan, bringing you greetings from the town of Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Grab your plates, grab your forks, and all that good stuff because we're going to eat and we're going to learn tonight. Tag Keishla, you are it.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2020, and we are so excited to be with you all tonight and to share with you all tonight. I bring you greetings from Dallas, Texas. I want to give a shout out to two very special people who are viewing right now. My assistant principal, Mr. Myers. Hey, Mr. Myers. And my pre-K coordinator, Miss Spears. Hey, Miss Spears. Hey, y'all. Thank you all for joining us. You guys, you are in for an amazing, I mean this, amazing show tonight. Our guest, her name is Tia Gilliam-Wilson, and she's an educator and an author. She loves to cook. She's been cooking ever since she was 8 years old. Well, actually, before she was 8 years old. As an educator, though, she loves to give to her students experiences that they will remember for a lifetime. One way of doing that is through cooking in her classroom. Tia has worked with DTEC since the beginning as a teacher education advocacy agent, participant, and then in TEA2 as an instructional coach. And she served as a member of the North Carolina TAG team. She is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh. Tia has taught kindergarten, 5th, and 2nd grade. Next year, she will be looping up with her class, and she's going to be teaching 3rd grade. You guys get ready to get in the kitchen and cook up some stir fry.
Hey, thank y'all for that amazing introduction. I hope you guys are ready tonight. We are going to be making some homemade buttermilk pancakes, and we're going to learn about how you can turn your kitchen into a classroom.
All right. So we'll let Tia get a moment to get set up there and enjoy the show, everyone.
Okay, sorry. Is it better now?
No,
can you hear me? Oh, sorry about that. Those technical difficulties. We're getting ready to cook up some learning in our kitchen. So get ready. We're going to be making some homemade buttermilk pancakes, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to talk about the objectives of our lesson. We're going to discuss the benefits of cooking with children. We're going to talk about best practices with cooking with children, and then we're going to have a cooking demonstration. So some of the benefits of cooking with your children, it provides practical experiences that they'll need in life. It helps them get involved in cooking. Your child develops fine motor skills, hand-eye coordination, and even early concepts of math and science. Cooking reaches across all domains of learning. You have reading, writing, math, science, and even social studies. And finally, cooking with your kids is a great family time. So this is an example of a recipe card that you can use with younger children. So younger children aren't able to read. However, you can use picture clues to help them know the amount of measurements that they would need to make a recipe. Some of the best practices to follow when cooking with your children are to always make sure they wash their hands when they come in the kitchen. Make sure all surfaces are clean. Make sure that your raw meats and things are cooked properly. And make sure your food is refrigerated promptly. So now we're going to start our cooking demonstration. We're going to be making homemade buttermilk pancakes, and I want to call on my lovely assistant, my 7-year-old daughter, Taya, to help me. And she has already washed her hands and all that stuff and gotten prepared. Okay, so to make our buttermilk pancakes, would you like to read off our recipe?
Where?
Right there on the computer screen. Would you like to read it off? Come back here and just read
all of it?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I can't see from it.
Okay, so we're going to be using 2 eggs, 2 cups of buttermilk, 2 cups of flour. We're going to use baking soda, sugar, salt, baking powder, and then melted Crisco or either oil. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to let Taya stir up the eggs. So stir the eggs. And then she's going to pour them into this bowl. Pour them into the large bowl.
Hold on.
And then the next thing we need to do is to add our buttermilk. But before we add the buttermilk, we have to mix in the baking soda. So we're going to mix in the baking soda, and I'm going to let her stir this up. And so this is actually science because it's going to have a chemical reaction. So stir. So when you stir the baking soda into the buttermilk, you get bubbles, which is going to help your pancakes rise.
I don't see anyone there.
They're there. All right, so now we're going to mix this up, Taya. Here, mix it up.
Yay! The singing machine.
All right, mix that up. Okay. You don't have to stir it up a little bit. And then we're going to pour in our flour. And all of this is done in one bowl, which is great. So we're going to pour in our flour. We also have sugar, salt, and baking powder already mixed in here. So we're going to mix that in.
Oops.
And while she's mixing, I'm going to go ahead and turn my eye on so my pan can heat up. Stir it up really good. Let me see. All right, and then
I don't know how to do.
The last step is to pour the oil in.
I'll be back.
And then we're going to mix this. And our pancake batter is now complete. So then the next step will be cooking the pancakes. And while I'm cooking my pancakes, I'm actually, I also have some bacon cooking because it's going to be our dinner for tonight.
Oh, yay.
All right, stir that up. And then
You like cake batter.
it does look like cake batter. Okay, that's good. That's good. That is good.
Wait.
And we're going to use a measuring cup to pour the batter in the pan to make the pancakes, just so that it will make a nice circle.
You add the butter without me?
No, I had it Crisco. So I'm letting my Crisco melt a little.
Can I go there now?
Right.
Why does it look like cake batter? It's not even cake batter.
It's a pancake.
I know. Is it
And so I'm using 1/3 of a cup to make my pancakes.
What's in there?
The bacon is cooking in there. And this I might have to switch out because it's not cooking as high as I want it to.
Can I go to the next one?
Yes, I'll let you pour in the next one.
Thank you.
Or if you want to switch it up here.
I wonder how long these later ones, but I don't want to use them.
We did use them earlier when I pre-measured our ingredients. So I had already pre-measured the ingredients to make it easier. To make the mixing easier. But like had I not been doing this live, I just would have measured as I was going.
Ew. That is spider.
All right, so our pancakes are cooking. And I wish I could show you guys, but I can't. They can't.
Did they comment that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that better?
I'm not sure. Okay, so actually while this is cooking, Isis, we can go on to the next slides to talk about how we can also, the other activities we can do to engage. So you may have a kindergarten student, and kindergartners work on patterns, and they work on learning how to make patterns and then also how to grow patterns. So this question is an example of something you could do with your child. So you helped your mom make pancakes. Next, your mom is going to make some breakfast kebabs. You have bacon, sausage, eggs, and tater tots as possible toppings. What A-B pattern can you create with bacon and eggs? And then what will the sixth item on your pattern be? So we know that an A-B pattern, if we're doing bacon and eggs, you would go bacon, eggs, bacon, eggs, bacon, eggs. And then you would want to look at what the sixth item in that pattern would be when you're growing your pattern. So the sixth item, what would the sixth item in our pattern be? So hold up your hands. And if we do bacon, eggs, bacon, eggs, bacon, eggs, what's the sixth item going to be?
Bacon.
Bacon, eggs, bacon, eggs, bacon, egg. So the sixth item in our pattern would be an egg. And that's something you can do with younger children.
Whoa, pretty.
Sorry, I had to flip my pancake. And then this particular one went with a different question. If you were doing an AAB pattern and you had sausage and tater tots, and you're trying to figure out what the 10th item would be. So you would have sausage, sausage, tater tot, sausage, sausage, tater tot, sausage, sausage, tater tot, sausage, sausage, tater tot, and your 10th item would be a sausage. That would be on your pattern. And I wish y'all could smell the pancakes and the bacon if only we had smell-o-vision.
What's that?
All right, so I'm going to take these out and put in some more.
Wait.
All right, so I did say you can, so come slide over here.
Okay.
Do not burn that thing.
I did that.
Okay, then get the bowl. Please be careful.
Okay.
And you're going to do 1 scoop.
A big scoop?
1 scoop. So
But I
here,
gotta have some milk.
it's fine. Here, are you sure?
How can I have more?
No, that's enough.
It's like cinnamon. What's the smell of later?
A smell-o-vision where you would be able to smell through the computer. Okay, so with 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, or even 4th grade students, you have word problems. So one of our word problems, and actually this word problem will be geared towards an older student because you're going to have to do some multiplying and some dividing. So it says, you know that your mom's skillet will fit 12 pancakes at a time. You divide, so this is actually the solution to that problem. So the problem was asking about how much time would it make your mom, or how much time would it take your mom to fix 60 pancakes if it took her 5 minutes to cook 12 pancakes. So you would have to divide and then multiply to figure out your answer, and you would know that it would take your mom 25 minutes to cook 60 pancakes.
Probably not though. The pancakes are very good. That's what I have one.
I am gonna make more. What is your question?
Why do you got this?
Just to make sure that the battery's good.
And if it wasn't, I'll spread everything.
All right, so some more. Some more ideas that you can use when making your kitchen your classroom. You can have your children write about their experiences cooking. So I could ask Taya to write about what her favorite thing to cook is. So Taya has been cooking with me since she was a little girl. So we have made some things we've cooked or have been. She made cornbread was one of the first things she learned how to cook. What else have you cooked with me?
Muffins, cupcakes.
We've made muffins, we made cupcakes, we made homemade yeast rolls. So I could have her write about one of her favorite experiences. And then you could also have your child to research the origins of different recipes. So at the school that I teach at, it is a global school. And so each grade level has a different area of study, a different continent that they study. So I've teamed up with 4th grade before, and we've actually cooked for St. Patrick's Day. We cooked Irish meals, so we made corned beef, we made cabbage, and soda bread and potatoes. So students could research those different regions, the different foods that they have, and you could have them make them. You can also do that at home as well as at school. And then you could have students research different cooking tools, like who invented this, who invented a pan, who invented a wire whisk, who invented all these things that make our life so much easier. And then for like health, you can have students research how they can substitute different ingredients to make recipes more healthy.
Oops, sorry.
All right, as was mentioned previously, I am an educator and I'm also an author. My very first book that I wrote was Can I Help You Cook, which Taya was my motivation and my inspiration for writing that book. One morning I was cooking breakfast, it was a snow day, and she happened to walk in the kitchen and said, Mommy, can I help you cook? And those words, the story came to me just like that, and I went and sat down and wrote them. And that book has some of my family's favorite recipes. If it has fried chicken, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, green beans, lemonade, pound cake. There's all kinds of wonderful recipes in there. Can I Help You Cook Too is about a little boy helping his Gigi cook. And it also has some of my family's favorite recipes. It has a potato salad recipe in there that is out of this world. I use homemade pickles when I make my potato salad, and that recipe is in there. It has a honey bun cake recipe, banana pudding, yams, cabbage. Cabbage is one of my favorite foods. I could eat it every day. So that recipe is in there. And Can I Help You Cook is translated into Spanish. Taya's kindergarten teacher, Athens Cruz, actually translated it for me. And then I also have 10 Yellow Lemons, which is a composing and decomposing numbers book, and it has also been translated into Spanish. And those are available on Amazon. So I actually have my bacon cooking in the air fryer, so I'm going to check it out and see how it's doing.
All right. Are you ready? Here, echo. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Still here. I'm not still on your phone.
Okay.
Am I still on? I'm not still on your phone, am I?
No, you're not on the phone anymore. I hung that up.
Okay. Well, while that was finishing up, I wanted to come on and thank you, and then also see if you wanted to take a couple. Could you hear me?
Did I
break up?
Yeah, you did.
This is not our night for technology. I said while you were wrapping up, because I know that was the last of your slides, was going to see if you wanted to start taking some questions.
Sure, I will take questions.
Okay. And I will say that I do have Can I Help You Cook? And so far we have done the mashed potatoes, not the mashed potatoes, the macaroni, and Can I Help You Cook? The chicken. And I'm working on that honey bun cake, but I need to make sure I'm gonna run or exercise the next day. So we haven't tried that recipe just yet. But we definitely do have Can I Help You Cook? Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. We are going to move into the Bring Your Own Voice part of our show. So if you are on and you have questions, now is the time that you can ask some of those. We do have a few already here. So some educators want to know, I am a non-cooker. So what are some things that I can do to still engage in the kitchen? I'm a non-cooking educator.
Well, from a non-cooking educator, you just got to get in the kitchen and try it. Like, you can't make mistakes in cooking. Just go and give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like with me, if I do cook something and it doesn't turn out the best, I give it to my husband and he'll eat it. Sorry.
He kind of tested it out. But I will say that the ingredients, because one of the things like I noticed when I first started cooking, that I didn't really love when it was just like so many ingredients that I had to go out and get. But I will say, like in your books, like it's straight to the point. It's not 30 different ingredients that you're going to need. And with all of the things that you have included in your recipes, like you can use it again. You can use it,
and they're simple. The more simple the ingredients, the easier it is. So just always try to stick to getting something that's going to have just a few ingredients.
And one person commented, she said box mixes, like just put everything in the box and stir it up.
No box mixes. We don't do box mixes. Homemade is always best. No box mixes.
All right, so another question. So in my district, food has to be store-bought in order for me to share it. How can I still incorporate the cooking factor in?
See, and in our district, we can cook in the classroom as long as you do it in the classroom, and all your ingredients do come from the store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I guess, and then if it's something that you wanted your children to taste, you could always buy it at the store and do like have them do a taste test if they don't get
Yeah. So as long as they can see it come in. So what I'm hearing, like as long as they can see it come in sealed, then you guys are allowed to serve it there. Okay.
Right.
Cool. So the last one that I have, what are some non-heat items? So I'm assuming maybe like anything like a parfait, or do like any kind of desserts that you have to where
So
it be like.
in second grade, when we learn about the states of matter, one thing we do in our classroom is we make bags of ice cream. So that was like really simple with cream, sugar, flavoring, and then you put it in the Ziploc bag, and then you put ice and rock salt in a bag and let the kids shake it up and let them see how that ice cream is going from a liquid to a solid, and then they get to eat it.
Right. And I remember doing that too. And it's just like sometimes, like if you want to get fancy, like they have like strawberry extract. If you want to drop a couple of little things in there, make them feel like they eating strawberry ice cream. Cocoa powder is something that I did in the classroom before too, to mix that in for like chocolate ice cream. So you can get a little fancy with those bag ice creams if you want to. You can get a little bit fancy.
Yeah, just asked if we could do that. And I just remember, like, we didn't get to do it in second grade because of COVID during the time we were studying. So we'll have to do that at home.
Right. All right. So we do have another question. What advice do you have for parents, educators, etc., in this virtual environment to utilize this best practice?
So what advice do I have for parents in this virtual environment to utilize this best practice? Just get in the kitchen and do it. Just don't look at it as a chore. Just look at it as having fun and spending time with your child. And one thing that this COVID experience has blessed us with is the ability to spend more time with our family and with our children.
I definitely agree. And I even have my 3-year-old. Like I taught my 3-year-old how to make eggs. So now she knows how to crack, stir, and make eggs herself. And then Roslynn Stewart asks, is there a difference in a product when using shortening versus oil? And that's a good question because I never did with Crisco.
Well, I think the final product comes out the same kind of. Now I only use oil if I'm like making pancakes or something. Like when I bake a cake, you have to use shortening and not oil, just so it'll be the right consistency.
Oh, really?
So like if you're making a cake from scratch and it calls for shortening, you have to use shortening versus oil.
But this is so this is a personal question. So so I shouldn't do the Western oil. I should do shortening.
If you're doing what?
If I'm baking a cake.
Now, if you're using a box cake,
I'm doing it from scratch.
Oh, from scratch, you need to use shortening.
Oh, okay.
You need to use, and my favorite thing when making a cake is Crisco sticks. Because it already has the measurements on it for you.
Yeah.
Instead of if you had the real thing of Crisco, which I do have some Crisco too, but you would have to put it in the measuring cup and then you have to level it off. When you just use these Crisco sticks, just bloop, and you got it there.
They were turning out fine, but maybe I'm gonna try the Crisco and see how that turned out. Okay, that was my personal question. But yeah, so again, thank you so much for this. Hopefully it gives our viewers a lot of ideas on ways that they can incorporate it. Like you said, with the patterns, I think that's really, really good. Just incorporating that piece of it. And then of course with the word problems, the story problems. Sorry, I'm laughing at a comment for Shalonda saying, why we calling out the box cake folks?
Come on, Miss Shalonda. Let's step our game up. Let's try some homemade cakes. Come on now.
And it's really not that bad, guys. I promise you. And if they do cupcakes, right, Tia? Like start with making your batter and putting it in like the cupcake pan.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like making cupcakes.
Really? Okay.
No, because your measurements have to be precise when you're putting it in the cupcake liner, or it'll be too much or not enough. So I prefer just a good old cake, and in a regular pound cake pan or a sheet cake or something. I just prefer a regular cake. Is easier. And I actually made my first homemade cake when I was about the age of 10. My Aunt Eva told me how to make my very first homemade cake. And I had my first set of cake pans when I was about 5.
Wow.
Shaped from my great aunt, because I was making box cakes then, but then, I upgraded and learned how to, do it from scratch.
Do it from scratch. Wow. That's so amazing. I think that we should bring in some of my team to get their thoughts, give you some feedback. We did have Simone, she had to hop off. But Keishla and Miss Levels are still here with us. So guys, give us some of your thoughts. What are some of your like favorite? I don't know. I know Mama Levels is a cooker. Keishla.
Speaking of that, there was a question. There was a question that was just on the screen that was. I love that question. Do you have it up? Do you still have it, Isis? And the question asks, what are some non-heating items that we can do in the kitchen? We need to know what we can do in the kitchen where we ain't at the stove, where we're not at the stove.
You can making smoothies is another good thing that they're a part of cooking, and it's healthy. So you can do, like, my favorite smoothie is made with spinach, pineapple, strawberry, and apples.
Okay.
And I usually have one of those every morning for breakfast, and I mix like a little bit of sea moss in it, and I mix chia seeds and flax seeds and hemp parts, so to help you stay full throughout the day. I know we're not talking about like nutrition, but still, you know.
If you were sharing that with Taya and how to measure, give me some steps or some tips how that would look sharing with Taya.
So if I was telling Taya how to make that, I would say, Taya, go get one apple, and then of course I would cut it up for her because she only uses knives right now. And then I would tell her to get like a handful of spinach, and we have a Ninja, so she knows how to put the stuff in the Ninja and put it in there and add the pineapples in it, and just get a handful of strawberries, and then put a little bit of water, close it up, and mix it.
So a handful of everything.
One of the things.
Okay, thank you.
Tia, I'm excited about this. So one of the most experienced and the best teachers, phenomenal teachers that I know is my big sister, and she's a pre-K teacher, and she cooks every week in her classroom.
Oh, that is amazing.
She has an electric frying pan in her classroom. They make homemade donuts. They use biscuits. And she puts a hole in the middle and she fries in the classroom. She does that during the State Fair of Texas time because here in Texas we have the funnel cakes and all of that. And so she cooks every week in her classroom. And so I have always been inspired by that. And she has a lot of non-food recipes. And it's funny because all of her parents and grandparents like to come to her classroom on the cooking. They get the free sample. So I want to encourage all the educators that are listening to at least try it. I like the fact that you said that, just try it. And I like the fact that this is an opportunity for parents right now. I'm a parent, and when my children were growing up, they were in the kitchen. I love the fact she's on that little stool there. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Yeah. I remember when my babies were on a stool and we were cooking together. So I think that's good practice in the home as parents, because kids need to know that math is real and that it applies everywhere. So when you get home, what you learned at school is going to apply here at home. And when you become an adult and a parent, math is applicable and you will use that skill for the rest of your life. So I think this is a huge opportunity for parents to actually support what's going on in the classroom. Teachers can easily sit home like they do every week, their math lessons, and parents can support that via cooking or home arts and crafts or home projects. If you're working on your patio, like everybody's working on everything outside now, let your kids help measure some of the rugs, the area rugs are for lighting. So I think that's important to get the kids involved. So thank you for encouraging parents and educators to just try something.
Right. And I have to give a shout out to my mom because she threatened to kick me out of the kitchen a many a days, because even though I love to cook, the part that I really, really hate is the cleanup afterwards. Yeah. And she threatened to kick me out a many a days, but someone told her, let her stay in the kitchen and cook.
That's right. And you know what? That's typical for chefs as well. And those like my son could probably outcook my daughter. She probably gonna hear me come here in a minute. But he loves to cook. And so, but he leaves the messiest kitchen. But again, he's the one that would get in there and try different recipes. He gets videos. He's really interested in doing that. And so I just say, go in there and cook, because I know I get to eat. So, but yeah, this is, and I like the science part. I think that if you're going to do something like this, it would be a good opportunity to engage across the content. And let the kids tell you. We shouldn't have to always tell them how it applies. I think as they get older, ask the child that's helping you cook, how does this apply to your science class? Is it something that you've done in class? Does it remind you of a previous lesson? Or like you said, with literature and writing, tell me of a story that you can remember, or a typical culture. Can you tell me how this connects to a specific culture? So I think that's important. Also, you also mentioned about inventions. That would be perfect, for the older kids to talk about how, different inventions and who invented what. And maybe some of those are inventions that they have in their kitchen. So you gave some great points here. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and
I have another question. I want to kind of go back to your books. And because I heard Isa say she purchased one of the books, and Can I Help You Cook? So just kind of talk to us a little bit more about what we can expect, because guess what? I wrote it down. I'm going to look, I'm purchasing mine, but what can I expect when I make this purchase?
Okay, so what you can expect, number one, is you're going to get a story about a little girl helping her grandma cook. And they're preparing dinner for their family. So you'll get a nice little sweet story that kids can read. Like the story is meant like kids, kindergarten, first, second grade, they can read the story. And then after the story, it has several of my favorite recipes. Now, I'm not bragging, but I make some bomb macaroni and cheese.
Come through macaroni and cheese.
It's good. Macaroni and cheese out in no box, and it's got like 6 different cheeses in it. It's made with ham, cream, butter. It ain't for people trying to lose weight. If you got a cheat day, that's when you're going to eat this macaroni and cheese.
Does it have Gouda in it? Do you include Gouda?
So many. I had to call her, like, where do I get this cheese? Like, I got 4 bags. Like, what? I called her. I'm like, girl, you trying to eat all this cheese? Like,
but it was worth, like, my macaroni and cheese is banging, I'm telling you.
It's good.
And then and with this particular book, it was named after, like, every recipe was named after somebody in my family. So like one of my cousins in Georgia, she's passed away now, but she made the best collard greens you ever want to taste. Like, you don't even have to chew. They were that like soft. So my collard greens were named after Edith. Then I have a fried chicken recipe in there. And my little cousin Christian, who lives in DC, when I go visit, I always have to cook him fried chicken. So my fried chicken was Christian's fried chicken. Taya and Trevante, my son, both love my macaroni and cheese, so my macaroni and cheese is named after them. My cousin Toya expects me to make pinto beans when we have a family function, so my pinto beans are named after her. My green beans, I have a cousin Jessica. When she was a baby, she used to be my baby before I had kids. She would always want me to make green beans every weekend when I went and stayed with her. So my green bean recipe is named after her. My Aunt Leslie made the best lemonade like ever. And so my lemonade recipe is named after my Aunt Leslie. And actually, the 10 Yellow Lemons book also has the lemonade recipe in the back of that too. And my honey bun cake recipe is in that book, and it was named after my great aunt Evelyn.
Wow. Can you make me some mac and cheese and send it to Texas?
If I can make it and send it, I could.
Oh. Well, you have a lot of viewers that are commenting that mac and cheese is the bomb. So
I'm telling you, my mac and cheese is good.
Ooh, yeah, Daryl the best ever. So Daryl, y'all need to work this out. I need some mac and cheese in Texas. I don't know how we're gonna make this happen.
So one of the questions related to the books, how can people purchase them? Where can they go?
So the books are available on Amazon. They're also on Walmart.com, which I didn't know. One day I was like, let me just search my name and see what happens. Yeah. And I searched my name and bam, then my book. Walmart. Okay, look at me on Walmart.
Go ahead. All right, great. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
So Roslynn asked, have you tried the same recipe with brand name versus store brand names and have a blind taste test?
I have not, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I will buy store brand products in a minute. Like if I get cake flour, if I'm making a homemade cake, I will use Swan's Down cake flour. But other stuff like I use now, I'll go get
Ain't playing with that
stuff. I don't, that doesn't matter. And even my cheese, like I'll get, the store brand cheeses for my macaroni and cheese. The heavy whipping cream, I use the store brand. So everything I use is not name. Now, if I'm making a banana pudding, I use Eagle brand milk. Now I will use Eagle brand milk, and I use so my banana pudding is kind of like a cheap recipe, but it's really good. You think it was like straight up homemade. I will use the Jello instant pudding. You won't know that unless you read the book, and then you know.
Okay. Hey, that works.
You would think it was like straight up homemade pudding that was made.
No, it worked.
That's good. That's good. I'm the same way. I like me some Nilla wafers. I can't play with them off-brand wafers.
I want the Nilla wafers.
Yeah, and when it comes to my butter, I have to have Land O'Lakes. So that's me.
Right now, because you can taste the difference with your butter.
It's different. That's all it is. Okay.
And living where I live, one thing I really do love is like there's a farm not too far from me. It's actually two, Mapleview Farms and then Homeland Creamery. They have some of the best butter and buttermilk and milk ever. Like if you're baking a cake, like I really love that stuff.
Okay. So we got macaroni and cheese. We're going to the phone.
Banana pudding.
All that stuff,
Pamela says you're going to need to cook for our next DTEC gathering.
Yeah.
I will.
I'm coming.
And Shalonda said she had a snack attack with the whole box, the entire box.
Dr. Cece says she's a name brand snob.
I know. Some things you just have to have the name brand. You can't play with it. You don't trust people. You don't trust people. But yes,
right,
so
I
good.
think it's our last question. I know I said last time. Okay. So someone asked, same ingredients for the pancakes with different measurements. What else could you make?
You might could do like funnel. Well, I made funnel cake before. But you might can do funnel cake with the same stuff and just deep fry it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't never done
try it here and then let us know.
See, what had happened was tomorrow I start my new diet. So I'm actually cutting out sweets. Like I do some cheesecake tonight, and that's it.
Ooh, cheesecake tonight too.
Yes, one of my good friends makes some banging cheesecake, and she made a post when I was on my way to the grocery store. That's why I was late, Isis, because when she made her post, I had to drive to her house when I saw her status, and she had one cheesecake left for sale, and I did a beeline to her house. I'm telling you,
you did not have to spill those beans, girl. You did not have to.
I think the one
cake and then have somebody else try it, but I wouldn't eat it because I'm gonna try to do better.
One thing I want to bring up that before we end this discussion is that a lot, with DTEC, we're always talking about being culturally responsive. And I like the fact that you had it translated into Spanish because we know that our ELL learners, that'll be good for them as well. And also a lot of the origin of a lot of these recipes come from within our culture. And also our culture from African culture to Latin culture to the islands, West Indies. I think all of that being culturally responsive and utilizing these recipes and the history and the legacy is really important. So I think that we can include all of this information, into the classroom in a variety of ways, and it can make our kids feel welcoming. You can ask them to bring in their own recipes because, as students, they have their own culture. And so they can bring in a recipe that the class can try as well.
Yeah.
Another thing I did when I taught kindergarten, for Mother's Day, my students actually made a cookbook of things that their favorite recipes that their mom would cook. So we did that for Mother's Day and sent that home one year.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
That is cute. I love that. Well, on behalf of the L.I.V.E team, thank you for coming on and making us hungry and regretting the food choices that we might make. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, teaching us not only how to bring the kitchen in, but bring in the culture, bringing what our families are already doing and just showing them how they can include their children in it. So we appreciate you. We thank you. Please stick around with us as we close out the show, and we're going to go into the next part and talk about our winners, right? Our winners.
Right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I certainly hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Wasn't it just great and amazing? I mean, you should have picked up tips from every angle, not just reading tips and math tips, but definitely cooking tips. So again, thank you, Tia, for that great, gracious presentation. You guys, do not forget to join. No, you know what? Before I go there, since the wheel is spinning, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. You see the survey link going across, and y'all see there are only a few names on the wheel. So we want to make sure that we are receiving your feedback. Send us your feedback. If this is your first time watching us, we have a survey that we send out after each show. And if you fill out that survey, your name goes into a drawing for a Visa gift card. And so we give a Visa gift card out after every show. We give 2 of them actually after every show. So again, if this is your first time, go ahead and grab that link. Send in the survey, and we'll go ahead and acknowledge our winners from Tuesday. Our first winner is, well, we're going to go to the next one, which is, she's a regular around here, Dr. Lovato Taylor. And our second winner is Roslynn Stewart. She's another regular. So congratulations, Roslynn, and congratulations, Dr. Lovato. Also, guys, I want to get your attention on this. Now, hear me well on this. Next week, we're going to do something that we haven't done on our show. We're inviting students in. We're going to have an actual student panel. We will have representatives from elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. So we are asking you to please join us. And that's going to be next Thursday. But before that happens, next Tuesday, Dr. Ebony White is going to come and talk to us about mental health and trauma in the classroom, which we know we all can benefit from some information concerning mental health and trauma in the classroom, especially during these times. Then Dr. Ebony White is going to come back Thursday and moderate the teen panel, the youth panel. And so we want to ensure that we are all here, but not just us. You know, you said you come and you enjoy the shows and you view the shows, but be sure to invite your children. Have your children come and sit down and hear, because the topic next week will be Your Voice Matters. Their voices matter. And so we're going to hear from them. We're going to listen to what they have to say, and we're going to respond accordingly. So again, don't forget to join us next week. Dr. Ebony White and our youth panel will be happening next week. I'm going to bring the L.I.V.E team back in. As they're coming in, guys, be sure to check out our outro video, connect with us. We have thoroughly enjoyed presenting to you. Continue to meet us here every Tuesday and Thursday this summer, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
We gotta fight against them, but we need numbers. We need to show up at school board meetings. We need to show up at county commissioner meetings. We need to have someone on the agenda to talk and know what they're talking about, to advocate.
So that's the whole goal, just to be better, to come with the new knowledge, come with the new awareness,